Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our horizontal layouts for the first week of June. And I've got some different washi tapes here ready to go, as well as these sticker books which I'll pull from. So this is the first week of the June Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme is Citrus Squeeze. So if you'd like to participate, go ahead and post your spreads up on Instagram using the hashtag PlannableJune2022. We'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and lay down some wax paper. You guys know I love my wax paper. I do this, if you're new to my channel, I do the wax paper to allow me to lay down the stickers and move them around before I commit them to the sheet. It's just an easier way for me to work out my design than trying to pick up the stickers and lay them down multiple times on the paper. Some stickers are really easy to remove and some are not. So it just depends on, the type of stickers, the paper I'm using. This is a printable from my shop, so I use paper that is made for copying, but is super smooth, so stickers tend to like to stick to it pretty hard and are difficult to pull up most of the time. So the wax paper kind of allows me a little bit of freedom to change my mind, move things around, so I really do love wax paper for that if you are like me and like to work things out before you commit them to your sheets. So I have this gardening sticker book and there is a full sheet of clear citrus stickers and a full sheet of paper citrus stickers. Not sure which ones I'm going to use yet. I think I'm going to lean towards the clear. I just tend to prefer clear stickers. They just look better when you mix them together without that white overlap. So we'll probably be using that for the most part, the clear stickers. I'm trying to combine the limes and the lemons here in a way so that they're a little bit tighter, feel a little bit more like a grouping versus just two stickers laid next to each other. So I cut up the lime and now I'm just trying to figure out how I can place it so it looks natural next to the lemons there and kind of creates a grouping. And I think I can get it to work. I just need to change the roundness there of the cutout so that it kind of butts up against the lemon and looks seamless. It really doesn't work if you overlap the stickers because you can tell on these that they are overlapped. And so when you're using something like this, it's supposed to be a solid object, it really doesn't work. Florals and leaves and things get a little bit more forgiving because you can, kind of layer them and they're somewhat transparent in some styles of leaves and flowers, so you can really make a grouping work. But you have to be a little bit more careful with objects like this if you really want to create a realistic visual element. And I also pulled two books, the Happy Illustrations and the, I think, Layered Floral Sticker book. They have a few florals with leaves that I thought were a good match for the citrus leaves. So I'm bringing those in from those two books, and then I've also pulled in some washi tape that I recently got from the washi tape shop, and I'm super excited to use it. I really think it's beautiful washi. The one I have there on the side in the dark green is from there, is part of a set. And then this almost script white washi I thought was a really good texture washi, something to layer in. So I'm going to be using that here as well. I'm going to limit the color palette to this green and yellow with pops of black. I was going to try to pull in that orange, blood orange tone that's there with the orange citrus as well, but I felt like limiting the colors was the right move. I didn't want it to feel too cluttered and too busy, and there's, a lot going on with the citrus itself, so it's a balancing act, if you will, to get everything to look like it's part of the same thing and not too overwhelming, especially with such large, kind of bold colors and stickers. So again, I created a new grouping with the medium-sized versions of those stickers, cut out the lemon this time, and layered it in a similar fashion as I did in the bottom. And then I'm just going to group the two smaller ones here together and not cut anything out, just kind of lay them side by side. So now I'm playing with the positioning of things, how I want them on the spread. Thinking about things in triangles, so you can kind of see I'm going with a side, side, center triangle, top, middle, bottom. That's a really easy way to get some balance on a spread if you are struggling with the way things look. If you create those triangular relationships between your stickers, keep the numbers odd. That's another tip. 3s and 5s work a lot better than even. Unless you want it to look symmetrical or reflective, odd numbers give a little bit more interest, feel a little more organic, and play nice on a spread, just a slight bit better. Also, too, the scaling of the stickers is also a nice touch. It's nice that they had different sizes because they were all really large. It might be a little bit too overwhelming, but here you give a visual of distance in depth to the spread as well because of the scale of the same things getting smaller as you get towards the top. It kind of looks like it's going away from you. So I've played with the washi a little bit and moved it a little bit towards the outside, mainly because I don't want to overlap the text here on the left side with the similar border that I'm going to be doing. I've laid in the yellow so it's right up against the edge, and then I'll layer the green on top of it. I'm just going to use that same strip of green and cut it down since it's overlapping the page quite a bit, and save that washi since I really like it a lot. The set that I got with that dark green washi comes in a bunch of different kind of moody colors with the similar styling of that slight script overlay, and I thought that that would be a really good match for a lot of themes with this thicker script washi that I got as well for texture. So I pulled out some of the leaves now and am layering them into the groupings again just to give it a little bit more something, and just trying to figure out what looks best with each. Like I said, I pulled those out of those two books, the Happy Illustrations and the Layered Florals. That's where all those leaves came from, and the citrus came out of the gardening sticker book. I've also pulled this handwritten colorful boxes sticker book that I picked up mainly because I just needed some more colorful boxes. I'm not a big fan of every box having the text on it, so I'm trying to figure out how I will cover that or remove that somehow or whatever I'm going to do. But I wanted to bring in a nice long box for my weekly checklists, my weekly to-dos. Here's where I'll pull in some of the paper stickers to help cover up the colorful boxes here and their headers, just to make it a little bit more interesting and again cover things up so that it fits the theme. I'm also going to cut up a few of those stickers since I don't have too many small ones in that size, and see if I can work that in with another couple of these colorful boxes. The yellow in here is sort of right, but it's a little bit pale, almost like a little bit too dark. So I don't know. The yellow's not my favorite, but the green I thought was a good match for the bright greens of the limes. Yellow boxes are hard to come by in Happy Planner world, So I was just happy to find a sticker book with yellow boxes because the original Colorful Boxes has 0 yellow boxes. And I have a little dry line pen there. A lot of people will ask me about that. I got those at Staples. They're like, you kind of click it open and close, which is nice and just helps you draw, you know, a nice thick dry line over top of things when you need to white out a big space. So I used that on that one colorful box there that didn't have anything to cover it with. And here I'm just trying to see how I want to balance out the spread with this long box. For a moment I thought I might move it to the left side of the page, but I think the right side is just the right place for it. So we'll figure out how I'm going to cover it here now. I thought I might be able to layer in another sticker of the citrus lime there, but it's too close to the top for that. So we'll just have to save that extra piece for another spread, I think. So I just covered up that shopping list text with the colorful box, larger than I would normally use. And I'll just put this week in there so I know that those are the weekly to-dos. Also layering in some washi tape now. Again, kind of repeating that pattern. Add a little bit of texture. And I think we are set. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to move everything over. Start with the washi tape since that's kind of a big element and I want to layer it in. I thought I might just try to do it as a spine and do one cut, but the sizing of the overlap really isn't quite right, so we will do one at a time. Just want to make sure everything's good and not too tight. And I'll have plenty of excess to layer on the opposite side. So I'll go ahead and trim it out and then layer it here on the left page. And again, I'll have to trim it out as well. Like I said, there was a little bit of extra that I didn't need. I would have liked to have more overlap kind of coming in, but again, it's a little bit tricky there with the left side of the page where the text is right up against the edge of the box. And I'm going to go ahead and white out a little bit behind this cluster here. Only doing the dark black lines because those ones tend to really pop through the clear stickers. The gray lines fade enough, I think, that is not as distracting. And then I'll just straighten out this washi. Layer that in. And then we'll move on to the top one, which I got a little too eager and just laid it down and then realized I meant to white out behind. You see that black line really pops through a lot more than the gray, so we'll pull it up a bit and white out the line. Give that a moment to dry. We'll move on to the next side, figure out where that's going to lay in. And luckily that does not overlap over any of the black lines, so I could just lay it flat and it still looks good. Having a little bit of trouble with this washi tape though, and this piece of lime that I really don't want to be covered by it. Just kind of trimmed it a little bit so I could tuck the washi tape underneath, and that worked out. So the main elements are in. We're going to go ahead and drop in some of the boxes now. And that one looks good. Go for this long box. And then this cluster here on Friday. This box is slightly bigger than the one above it, which is a little bit annoying, but we're just going to roll with it. And I pulled a few mild liners to make some checklists, just in the green and the yellow. So I'll just lay those in now. So I'm loving this, but it feels a little sparse here on the left-hand side. I'm going to go into some sticker books that I didn't pull originally and look for quotes or something that I could pull in, maybe in this top Monday section, this kind of corner near the spine. I think that will be enough to fill the gap that I'm feeling is there. So I'm in my recipe book. There is some styling in there that I thought might work, but I'm not exactly sure if I want to use anything from there. I also have a recipe accessory book. I thought of these because I knew that the color schemes were similar and that the text writing had a very scripty font to it. But I didn't find anything in either of those books. So now I'm into a color story book that I recently picked up, Color Story Big. Just looking for some options. I see a couple that might work. I'll lay those to the side, and then I had one more I wanted to look through that had some nice large black quotes. Seeing what I have in there. It's a really nice book. Some of these I just picked up. And I think I found one that will work, that has the right kind of scripty font feel and is large, so we'll take up a nice chunk of space up there. It would have been nice to have like a citrus quote, but I just felt like the scripty font was the way to go, and so we're going to go with this. And now we are done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment too if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!